guys, and thanks for tuning in to another edition of Tips. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that I think is very, very important. Something that I've been working on personally and slowly getting better with it over the last couple months. And what is this? This is saving cash. Having 3 to 6 months, a couple months worth of living expenses. Expenses like rent, your car payment, your groceries, anything. I mean, basically, what if you didn't have a job tomorrow? Do you have enough money to get by? Can you live? Can you survive if the next day, all of a sudden you were on furlough, or all of a sudden you just wanted a new job or something, anything, right? You want to have those living expenses because you never know what life has. God forbid, all of a sudden you get in a car accident and you got to get a new car, or all of a sudden you break your leg and you meet your deductible and then you got to go over. There's a lot of different things that life can throw at us, and we got to have savings. I personally myself in the last year have had to, I showed you in my last video actually, I needed to borrow some money recently from a family member. That was because I went a little bit over in terms of allocating my money for me, and then also I didn't have enough cash. I didn't have savings. I was basically over investing. So I started learning about investing, and then I started over investing. And I got a friend that, and I agree with him, where we both talk about it. It's like, gosh, I don't want to have my money sitting in cash because it's cash and it's doing nothing for me, and inflation is going to devalue the American dollar, the US dollar over time. And, it's just going to, right? Everybody's scared of cash in a way, but you do want to have some cash, and that's something that I'm personally working on, like I said. So what I did recently, and you can do this yourself, is I set up a savings account for myself with Chase. And maybe some of you are laughing, like, you just set up a savings? Yes, I just set up a savings account. I mean, I've been investing in my IRA, my 401k for a while, and I've been not taking full advantage of my 401k, but I have been doing the IRA. I've been investing in cryptocurrency, which I can't wait to talk to you guys more about. But I still didn't have a savings account. I wasn't actually saving cash because I was like, well, why would I have my money just sitting there and not working for me? Why, I really wanted to find an opportunity for me to earn annual, percentage gains on my money, 6%, 5%, 10% annual if I could, 1,000,000% annual, I opened up my checking account and I started putting in, I'm trying to do $300 right now on the 15th of each month. So over the course of the year, 300 times 12, whatever that is, I'm going to have that saved up over the course of the year, which over the course of 2 years, 3 years is going to be plenty of money. And if I ever have a period where I've just got extra cash laying around, maybe I, still have I'm just trying to save up more and more money, but I can go over that $300 a month and save that into my checking account. I want to do that. And I think my goal personally would be about $6,000. That's a little bit on the low side, but I'm really antsy personally in terms of not having my money in cash. I want to have my money working for me, which you could absolutely argue against that. And you could say, well, you need to have this because, again, you could break a leg, you could get in a car crash, you could have all these different things that happen. And you want to have that money. Now, you could also make another argument and saying that, not only do you need that cash saved up in a savings account for those reasons, but what if you saw the market crash and all of a sudden you really wanted to buy, but you didn't have any cash? If you kept investing every single day, every single week, every single month, and then all of a sudden that buying opportunity of a lifetime comes and coronavirus hits, and then March of 2020, we go to a big low where the market just drops off a cliff, and then boom, there's a huge rebound in only a matter of months, and now our tech stocks are at the peak. I missed out on that buying opportunity. I bought up a little bit on the way up, and then I actually sold out because I didn't want to be individual stocks. I want to put it into my retirement funds instead. But you really do want to have that cash because you might have an opportunity to buy that. You might have an opportunity to buy the dip and really create basically a generational buying opportunity. You never know. I mean, I'm not going to say that the market's going to tank. I'm not going to say the market's going to go to the moon. but I am going to say that anything could happen, right? And I think we can all agree that the market has been on a tear lately. So, some would say that we're due for a dip. Maybe not, but wouldn't you rather have a little bit of cash for that dip rather than not, so that you could buy in on the low side and potentially have that generational buying opportunity, which may not be happening ever, may not be happening in a year, 2 years, 5 years, maybe 15 years. Who knows? Who knows? But just a little bit of food for thought. Now, I really, really, really want to urge you all to consider to, push yourself into saving that cash. Investing is very important. We want to find opportunities for compound interest, but you got to have cash. You got to balance it out. And that's it. I mean, that's today's message, guys. It's something that I want to stress. It's something that I'm still working on personally, like I said, and I'm going to continue to do so. I'm really praying that we do get another stimulus check by the government, but we'll see kind of what happens with that one. I'm not too sure what we're doing with that right now. It seems like we got a lot of politicians being politicians, and that gets old fast. But I think we're all a little bit tired. We got a pandemic, we got an election. We're all working. We're working remote. Maybe you miss your coworkers. Maybe it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. I mean, we live in the greatest country in the world. Let's be honest here. And you know what? If you guys aren't in America, then you know what? That's okay. Your countries are great too. But that's today's message, guys. Make sure that you're saving enough money for yourselves. Make sure you're saving up that cash, because you never know what's around the corner, whether it's an emergency that you're going to need that money for, or whether it's just a little bit of security. That's one of the biggest things. Is if I had $6,000 or $10,000 just sitting in an account for me somewhere, I would be so much less stressed on a day-to-day basis. I'm sitting here telling you guys all these financial, and I'm not an expert, right? This isn't financial advice or professional financial advice. This is just a guy who's learning about it, talking about it, and trying to learn more about it with anybody out there who's willing to dive into these topics with me. But having this extra cash would really give me a comfort blanket, knowing that if anything were to go wrong, that I'd be okay. And even if nothing does go wrong, I just to feel that I'd be okay. That's really important. So that's the food for thought for the day, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure that you guys have a savings account. Make sure you're saving up enough money to get yourself by, just in case if anything comes along. Be happy, be well, stay safe. We got a lot more to talk about, guys. This is another edition of Kip's Tips. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, like the channel. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.